Tuesday. I'm your host, Jess Del Pino, FDNP. And this week, we were going to have Renee Bergman on to talk about the Enneagram personality test. But unfortunately, she had to reschedule. So she'll be on in 2 weeks. So I wanted to take some time this week and chat with you guys about the FDN program and what we have going on this month, what sort of offers we have, and any questions you guys have about the program itself, any updates, things like that. I just wanted to take your questions today, and so that we can, let's talk about FDN. So I will say that coming up this Saturday, we have a special webinar, and this is going to be a monthly webinar that we're doing now going forward called the Healthcare Unmasked. So this week, Reed Davis is going to be on with Dr. Wilcott talking about metabolic typing diet. Super excited. So you guys definitely want to make sure you register for that. Let me get the link for you so you can register for that. And you definitely don't want to, you can't make it live on Saturday. You still want to register because you're going to be able to get some cool downloads and things from that show. So yes, it's the Health Space Unmasked. Let me get the link for you. Actually, Dr. Wilcott is going to be on in November or December. That this week, it will be Dr. Evan Hirsch. So where do we have it's going to be fdn.com / November 6th or FDN training. I'll get the link for you guys. But anyway, you definitely don't want to miss that. It's a great series that we're going to be running every FDN Talk Today. That's what it is. So fdn.today/November 6th. And that's going to get you the link to get on and register for that show. So here we go. And let me pull that up for you guys so you can see what this free interactive webinar is going to be all month. Let me share my screen with you. Sorry for the kind of wonky first start today. But I definitely get into some questions with you guys. So go ahead and start putting your comments below, and we start talking about FDN, the course, anything you guys have questions about. So here is the Health Space Unmasked. This is going to be a monthly webinar that Reed Davis is going to be doing with different top experts this month on November 6th, which is this Saturday at 8:30 in the morning, Pacific time. He is going to have Evan Hirsch, and they are going to be talking about the 4-step process of resolving long haulers naturally. So some of the topics they'll be going over: why are you going to see long haulers in your practice? How to know if someone is a long hauler or has long haulers, why people get that, why there's so many symptoms, what that does to the body, how to resolve it using a 4-step system, and what you need to know about other co-infections. It's this is a really great topic, guys, and you definitely don't want to miss it. So here are those discussion topics again. If you want to register for this on Saturday, I will put it in the chat. If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, if you are watching this on the replay on IGTV, then there will be a comment with this as well. So you guys can go ahead and register. This will be on Saturday. And again, the topics that they're going to be talking about, it's Reed Davis with Dr. Evan Hirsch talking about a 4th process to resolving long haulers naturally. So if you're seeing this in your practice with clients, you definitely want to come on. And here's a little bit about Evan Hirsch. He is a doctor renowned, known for fatigue and long haulers as an expert. He works as the CEO of the International Center for Fatigue, has best-selling books, podcasts, online programs, helped thousands of people, and definitely something, you know, that you guys are not going to want to miss. And this is free. So just in case you guys are wondering, this is a monthly podcast or a monthly webinar that we're going to be doing called the Health Space Unmasked, where Reed's going to have different people come on every month. And this is the topic for this Saturday, and that'll be at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. All right. So now that we got a little bit of housekeeping out of the way, I just want to make sure that you guys know you can comment below here. I'm going to answer your questions about FDN. And just to kind of get it started, in case you guys don't know who I am Jess Del Pino. I am the host of this weekly show. We host it every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. We have replays that go out on IGTV on Friday or Saturdays. And I'm an FDNP. So I came to FDN a few years ago, got certified, came from a completely different background. I was working in marketing, social media, in the entertainment industry, and I just wasn't really happy. So I had taken a break from that career. In the meantime, though, I've been dealing with health issues my entire life. So I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis when I was 12 years old. I was dealing with it for over 20 years. And I found FDN trying to find a more holistic sort of approach to help myself and then potentially even help other people. I'm not sure if this rings true to you guys, but if you have any health ailments that you're dealing with, I'd love to know about them in the chat. Go ahead and post some comments below here, and let's talk about it. FDN really did put me on a trajectory to change my health. It changed the way I thought about health. I think one of the biggest light bulbs that went off for me when I found FDN was the way that we position what disease actually is. So when I was younger, getting diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, right? They say it's a disease. They don't have a cure. You know, you're going to have to be on medication forever. There'll be a cure in your lifetime. And telling this to a child, you know, putting them on medications they have to take every day. I remember back when I was younger, like having a handful of pills, you know, in my early teens, and being told I have to take this handful of pills. Like it was like 8 or 12 pills that I have to take 3 times a day or 2 times a day. I have to bring them to school with me. And I was the only kid who had pills like this. And, you know, and bad stomach aches, everything bothered me. I was gaining weight. I had to be put on prednisone steroids. Like there was all kinds of just trauma and turmoil that went around that. And then to be told, like, you're going to have this your whole life. There's no reason why I got it. No one else in my family had it. It was very interesting. And then, so I always had it stuck in my head, but I knew that there had to be a better way, right? So as I got older and I would try to take supplements, I would take vitamins, I would do all kinds of things. I realized that some of that stuff actually started to work. Have you guys had that happen before? Who's watching right now? Have you guys, you know, when you were first starting to go down on that, that road of health, right? And you were trying to figure out what's going on with me or my family member or my clients. Like, did you guys start using supplements and then maybe make a little bit of headway and then you just wanted to know more? Why is this working? Like, let me know in the comments. I want to talk with you. Like, what were some of your first experiences to really open up your mind about the difference in holistic health versus, you know, just doing the regular pharmaceutical pathway? So I started taking some supplements. I took some vitamins, I did some things, and it wasn't until I think I was taking some probiotics. I found a probiotic that actually made my stomach a little bit better. And I told my doctor, and he didn't want to prescribe me one. I was really interested in trying one for ulcerative colitis called VSL or VCL. I can't remember now, but it was only prescription, and he refused to write me the prescription. And that really set a fire under me of like, no. I'm not going to pay this guy anymore. I'm not going to keep going to him. I instead am going a better way. So I ended up finding FDN, going through the certification. And this is the paradigm that they changed in my head, was that dis-ease is the body not at ease. Pretty simple, right? Who out there agrees with me? You guys, can you put like a hands up or a yes in the comments? Like, who out there can you tell me, do you believe that that is essentially what is going on when somebody is dealing with symptoms, when they're diagnosed with something, that the body is not at ease with itself, that we are no longer in homeostasis and something deeper is going on to cause us to feel bad? Can you guys let me know in the comments? Do you agree with that? Because that's the philosophy that FDN changed in my head, that disease is just the body not at ease. I mean, of course, it's a little bit more intricate than that, right? Like there's a little bit more going on. There might be some epigenetics going on, some environmental factors, but clearly the body not at ease is what we call dis-ease, right? Very different to what I was told as a child, that disease is something you have, something that you've caught, something you can't get rid of. That was my version of disease. I feel like that might be a lot of people's versions of disease, right? They're labeled, they're put into a box. But instead, if you change the paradigm to disease is the body not at ease, then how do we get the body to be at ease? What can we do to change the paradigm? What can we do to change things to be a little bit more healthy? And when I started to shift into that, then all of a sudden everything changed for me. And FDN really helped that. So what I want to do right now is really pull up what the FDN course looks like now and see, so that you guys can actually psych to be an FDN student. What does it feel like to go through the course? So I'm going to pull up my login. We're going to go, we use a separate login on our website for our students. And let's go and just take a look at the open access course so you guys can just get a viewpoint of what it looks like to be an FDN. And I'd love to know what questions you guys have. Like, are there, is there anything that you're not too sure about? You're not sure about taking the course? Let me know in the comments and let's kind of take a look a little bit further at what it is we're actually going to be learning when you go through this course. So FDN's broken up into a series of modules, and all of these have been updated this year, by the way. So you're talking about, good updates to a lot of the videos. And it really delves in deep into different areas of how you can help anybody with the philosophy, which we call DRESS for health success. DRESS standing for diet, rest, exercise, stress management, and supplementation. So let's look at this course and how it's broken up. When you go through FDN, the first thing you're going to learn is, what is an FDN? How do you become an FDN? What does it take to really, think about things differently with a client? So we focus on stopping what we call the cycle of trial and error. This is the, let's try this supplement, let's try this diet, let's see if, this is going to work. And it can be good, but we look at more of an individual aspect of each person that we're working with, right? We don't want to guess. This is why we run lab tests. We want to really think about each person. What sort of things happen when somebody's under chronic stress? It leads to a domino effect we call metabolic chaos. And then metabolic chaos kind of wreaks havoc around the entire body, in every body system. And then also, how can you resolve that? So that's all just in the first section, the first module of FDN. You're really just like diving right in. And then from there, we really kind of go into the body, how the body works, the HPA axis, adrenals, stress testing, hormones, what sort of things to look for in that. And then a metabolic profile. Now, at this point, we're looking at things like digestion, detoxification, oxidative stress. We're looking at the liver. We're looking at the bowels. How are things kind of moving in the body? What sort of testing? Like, look at how in-depth this module is here. We're not just looking at tests. We're looking at how everything's affected. Screening for the liver, looking at oxidative stress, and then really just focusing on healing opportunities here. And just to show you, this is just incredibly in-depth, and that's just module 4. Then we're going into mucosal barrier, immune support, antigens, pathogens, and then we kind of showcase to you a documentation hub that we give you. There are over 100 different documents that we give you as practitioners that you can then take and put right into your business. So it's almost turnkey. If you guys understand that concept, you really can just go through this and start a business. Once you get past that portion, you're going to talk about food sensitivity testing, how you can utilize it, metabolic typing diet test, which is our version of looking at somebody's diet, because we don't really subscribe to any particular diet, but we do subscribe to how is somebody interacting with food, what is that doing to them? And then we delve into dress. Again, dress is our version of helping clients, our program. So we have each one of these modules goes into one aspect of dress: diet, rest, exercise, stress management, stress reduction, supplementation. So I just want to show you how like each one of these is pretty in depth, right? The diet portion has 6 lessons in it. The rest portion has 3, exercise 1, stress 5 portions to it. The supplementation modules, which I love, there are 6 lessons in here that really go in depth. And then once you get through all of that, then we're going to go into some case studies, how to onboard and manage your clients, and then you'll get into your testing. And the testing is great because it is, I think it's 12.5 hours of mentor testing and an oral final that you're going to be doing. So I have one comment so far from Aziza. Let me pull this up right here. So I'm watching in Durban, South Africa. I've always been passionate about good nutrition. So my training as a medical doctor led me down the rabbit holes that I'm now determined never to go down again. Absolutely, dis-ease. The need for change paradigm is urgent. You missed that on the screen here. It is urgent. Thank you so much. Yes, so rabbit holes that you're determined to never go down again. I'd love if you could just clarify if you'd like, but I totally understand what you mean. There are a lot of people now who are opening up their mindset a little bit around the pharmaceutical or the medical community. And really what you get into it for, right, is to help people. And I think that some of them have been kind of pushed into a little bit of a corner where it is a pill for every ill, right? So if I have a digestive problem, I have acid reflux, somebody wants to give me a pill to fix that. But nobody's really been thinking about, well, why is the body reacting in such a way that it would cause acid reflux? It would cause a digestive distress. It would cause brain fog or whatever the symptom may be. We don't want to quell the symptom. Symptoms are actually telling us something is not at ease in the body, right? And I think that's kind of what I'm getting from your comment here. You know, good nutrition is where it starts, right? That's why in our program, Dress for Health Success, the very first thing is D, diet. And that is what you are putting in your body, but not just the food, actually. I would say it is the media you're consuming. It is the relationships you're having. It is the work you're doing. It is your purpose in life. What are you intaking? What is your nutrition? Are you feeding your body? Are you feeding your mind? Are you feeding your soul? Are you feeding your community? Those things are incredibly important. And I think if those nutrition aspects are not fulfilling, then it's going to cause some form of unease in the body, dis-ease in the body or the mind or the spirit, and it's going to translate out as a symptom or a diagnosis, which this is my opinion only, but a diagnosis is really just a box that we are putting people in to quantify where they are, right? But disease is not what it used to be. Like I explained earlier, disease used to be a qualification that you are now diagnosed with this thing. You have now a medication you have to take in order to quell that disease or to keep it under control, to not spread it, to not attract it, whatever it may be. But now, you know, just as she says here, disease, the need for a change in paradigm is urgent. Dis-ease is just the body not at ease, or the mind not at ease, or the environment not at ease. Something is not at ease. It doesn't mean that it can not be fixed. It's not a death sentence. It's not a qualification. It's not a box. It is something that can be changed. So she says, my brand is simply healthier, holistic approach to health, spiritual, physical, emotional. And these are great pillars, right? Spiritual, physical, emotional. We cannot heal the body if we do not heal the mind, if we do not, connect with the spirit. And I think that is the change in the paradigm that we're starting to see with holistic approaches like what you're talking about here. And I think that's really, really important. Just a side note from my story, right? Like I went through FDN, I really started to focus on the physical. I started to understand what was going on with my body. I was running tests. I could see that my hormones were tanked. And so I would start to adjust things with supplementation. I would change my lifestyle a little bit. I saw that my gut was messed up. I saw that I had pathogens and parasites that I needed to clean out. And I really, for about 2 years, kind of chugged along and I was making good progress. But then I started hitting walls again. I cleaned up a lot of my approach. I cleaned up a lot of my lifestyle. I cleaned up my diet. I cleaned up my friends, my everything around. But I still was hitting a lot of walls. And it's because I hadn't really addressed the emotional aspect as to why I was getting into a point of dis-ease in my life. When I really, really took a step back and started doing some emotional therapy, I started doing some things that would heal my emotional body and connect myself to my emotions instead of being overrun by them. That's really where I saw a huge shift in my physical health, but also my mental health, my mindset, my perspective. I'm able to handle stress much more than I used to. And I don't feel tanked every day. I don't feel like I have to go drink 500 cups of coffee just to get up in the morning. I don't feel like I'm stressed out. I even changed where I lived because of this. I'm in a much calmer place now. I'm surrounded by nature. I have house plants. I have pets. I have a good relationship. I have good friends. These are all really, really important things that coincide with the physical, the supplementation, even running the labs. Because you might get clients in the future where you run labs on them and their lab tests might be all over the place. And so you want to try to balance out the labs. But that's another thing that FDN really does well and teaches is that we don't just teach to treat the paper. So let's go back to the course real quick. And I'm going to pull up where it says in the very first module, like we said, nope, I must have been in the second module. But I did read it here somewhere that we don't treat the paper. We don't just treat the testing. It's more than just looking at numbers. Although I will say, having a lab test for your client to be able to look at numbers could help them to be a little bit more compliant in the program that they're doing with you, so that they can see, like, it's really important that you clean up your diet, that you get enough sleep, that you go exercise appropriately, that you reduce your stress. It's incredibly important because it shows it here on this piece of paper. And when we rerun that test in 3, 6, 12 months, they can then see the progression of things going up or down. And I think that's where it can be very helpful. But we have to be careful as practitioners to not get so caught up in the lab testing that we're only treating the paper and we're not treating the client. We have to treat everything. And so that's why, let's go into the documents real quick. We do a series of intake forms. We keep very clear case notes because we want to correlate everything that is going on in somebody's life as to why they might be showing symptoms, why they might be in a state of disease, why they might have been diagnosed by a traditional doctor. Not to say that we want them to stop seeing doctors. There's a way for us to work together with them because there's so much that can be done, but it's not just, it's like they say, it takes a tribe to raise a child, right? It takes a tribe to help get you healthy. And we can be, FDNPs can be a very strategic, instrumental person in somebody's healing journey because we have so much access to being able to pinpoint patterns and find what we call healing opportunities. These are things that we see that might need changed in the body, that might need changed in the lifestyle. And we can see it because we have a bird's eye view, whereas somebody else who's in it, dealing with the stress, might not recognize that it is correlating to why they have a skin condition or why they can't get to sleep at night, or, you know, why they have digestive problems. So let's just take a look real quick. You can see some of the way that it looks when you go into a lesson here. So you got a video, a couple of videos, and we're really looking at intake forms in this one here, but like the document hub shows you where to find it, how you can download it. Everything is digital. And that's a great thing about this course too, is that when you enroll in the course, we give you all these documents. There is no extra books or costs. Everything is paid for upfront. We do require that you do some lab testing, and that's part of the course cost. That gets shipped directly to your house. So you're going to work on yourself also. And I will say, there is a fantastic thing happening this month, which is if you haven't enrolled in FDN yet, November is the time to do it, guys, because this month we are giving away not one, but I believe it is 3 FDN advanced courses for you to choose with your enrollment. That's a pretty offer, right? I'm pretty sure that, you know, this is multiple courses for the price of one. And I think you guys, like, if you haven't enrolled in the course now, like, this is the time to do it. You know, you can pick 3 different ones here that are really going to set you up for success with your clients in the future. Have any of you guys gone through the course that are watching? Have you taken any of these advanced courses? I'd love to hear in the comments what your thoughts are. I can say specifically that the blood chemistry one and the stress and hormones one have been fantastic. The stress and hormones course is almost like a brand new course. Like, it's just as long as the FDN training course. And when you go, if you were to buy it on your own, I believe it's like $100. And you're going to get that for free if you enroll this month, if you choose that one. $497 US. This is such a great deal because we really want to give you guys unity to have a leg up, not just going through the FDN enrollment, but to kind of like dig in a little bit further with some of these topics, I meant to being able to work with your clients on a much deeper level. So, you know, I want to make sure you guys have the opportunity to connect with one of our course advisors if you haven't gone through the course. So please do me a favor, comment below. Do me a favor right now. Comment below right now. Have you been through the FDN course? I want to know how many of you out there are already FDNs that are watching this, and who hasn't been through the course yet. Can you guys just do me a favor? Comment. Let's do this. Comment below and say, I'm an FDN or I'm not an FDN. I want to know, because I see there's at least 7 of you watching right now. Aziza, and you watch every week, Aziza. I see you every week. You're not an FDN yet, but this is a great offer, right? This is a super great offer to get some of these advanced courses for free when you enroll. Plus you get some testing to join yourself. Who else is out there watching? Who else is going to comment, guys? Anyone? I got some stragglers today. But yeah, Aziza said she's not an FDN yet. Well, I appreciate you always jumping on with me every week. Like, I'm sure this is great and you get to learn a lot, right? Thank you, Maria. All right, Maria is an FDN, well, an FDN trainee, right? Almost done. You started the written exam. That's awesome. Isn't that written exam, like, it's a beast, isn't it? I know they changed it since I went through the course 3 years ago, but it was a beast for me back then. I hope that you found the course well. Let us know what you think. Have you decided, or have you gone through or decided that you want to go through any of the advanced courses, Maria? What's your specialty? Is there anything that you see that you want to focus on with clients? Are you already working as an FDN? I'd love to know more, Maria. Tell me more. Yeah, it's a, would you say, good Lord? It's a hefty test, a hefty written exam. That's great. Like, maybe you can let us know too, like, about about your experience, like just doing the lab testing. Did you find it really insightful? Because I found it super insightful when I went through the course, and it was kind of the reason I chose FDN, right? I was like, oh, I get to run tests on myself too, and it's part of the cost. Oh, what a great thing. And you get a mentor to kind of walk you through. I had no idea at the time I went through the course, my hormones were tanked. I should bring my labs on here one day. My hormones were in the exhaustive phase, which means like, my mentor told me, she goes, I don't know how you get out of bed every day. Like your hormones are like if you're 60 years old, which is probably like 80 at this point because everybody seems to be getting younger. And I told her, I go, well, I take probably 15 supplements. I've just figured out how to like the magic sauce to make it work, right? And she's like, yeah, you don't need to be doing that. Like we need to change that out for you. Because at that point I wasn't even, I might've been 30 something, like early 30s. That's bad for that age, you know? Hi, Tammy, how are you? Not an FDN. Are you considering going through the course? Obviously you're interested if you're watching the show, right? But yeah, let us know what are your interests in holistic health? Like what drew you to watch the show today? Are you interested in learning more about your own health? Do you have a practice? Like, let me know a little bit more. All right, Maria, what do you got? She's replying back to us. I'm already a coach, but wanted to make labs a part of my offering. Focus on blood sugar, inflammation, stress, and you already offer functional blood chemistry. And FDN is also giving me structure and better protocol for supplementation. Okay, so that is a huge one that you just mentioned right there. So I'm glad that you found us. We get a lot of coaches that come into FDN, and like you said, it does offer a structure, and we have set protocols for supplementation. Not that they're set that like they're the same for every person, but it gives you a clearer understanding of how to offer those to clients, no matter what's going on with them. And the structure is, if you ran every client through the Dress for Health Success program, you did diet, rest, exercise, stress reduction, supplementation, and you assessed that and ran that through for every client, even if you never ran a lab, although labs are really helpful, you would make so much of headway and a positive impact on every client, because there is always something to clean up in every one of those 5 areas. They would not be coming to you to work with you if they didn't have something to work on. So just, clear understanding. And we definitely offer good structure, good supplementation protocols. I'm glad that you're already doing some functional chemistry. That is super important. There's a lot we can learn from the blood. So that's a really great advanced course that you can take. I'll pull that one up in a minute so you guys can take a look at it. Thank you, Tammy, again for commenting. You just began working for an FDNP in FDN Thrive. We love FDN Thrive. For those of you who don't know, FDN Thrive, I will put the link up here, fdnthrive.com, is part of FDN, where you will actually get to work with FDNs if you're looking for help on your own health. If you are one of our trainees, this is a good opportunity for you to work under FDN to get your practice started. We bring you clients and kind of help you by mentoring you. And so it's a really, really great program. Aziza, I too would like to know whether I can get some credits for prior learning, medical education. I would also like a way to fast track my transition to become a health coach. Okay, so FDN doesn't offer any credits per se, but I will say that having a medical background, having a health coaching background, having some other training helps you to get through the content faster. So for instance, when I went through the course, I had no background in this other than my personal health and my own yearn to learn, right? And so I ended up spending a lot of extra time outside of just going through the course to beef up my knowledge, to understand the terminology, to get a clear sort of baseline. And so I was putting in probably double the time just outside of the coursework to really get up to speed. For somebody like you, Aziza, who's got a medical education, I would say you're looking at less than 6 months to get through the coursework. The most time it's probably going to take you is actually just scheduling out all of your practicals, because that's going to take about 2.5 months, just because, you know, it takes time to get on somebody's schedule, and then you got to schedule. You cannot schedule them all out in advance. You have to schedule them after you finish one. So I'd say about 2.5 months of just scheduling for those practicals and tests. And then to get through the course material, a month or two for you, really. So you're looking at maybe 4 or 5 months. It's going to get you through and fast track you, because you already have that information. You have that background, that foundation, and that's what's going to fast track you. It just puts you ahead of the game, to be honest. But we don't really take any sort of prior credit for prior learning. It's just it's definitely just going to put you ahead of the game. And then Maria says, definitely with a medical background, you can do all the materials in less than 4 months. So there you go. That's somebody who's in the course right now and finishing up. So it seems like it's a lot, but everything that I showed you on the screen, let's go back to it real quick so you guys can see it. These modules, Aziza, are like, you can go through them as fast as you want. All of this here, let me expand everything so you can see. Most of these have 1 or maybe 2 videos per lesson. You can spend a few days, a couple of months, really just going through all this and kind of beefing up your knowledge. This is completely self-paced. So however fast you can get through this is completely up to you. With your background, I don't think a lot of this is going to be like mind-blowing and take you, weeks to really encapsulate. And then Maria said, in total, it will take her 6 months. That's pretty standard. We've seen on average people take about 6 months to get through the program. And that's maybe putting in 8 to 10 hours per week. I'm not sure how much you put in, Maria, but then remember too, it's like scheduling all the practicals, because there's about 12.5 hours that you have to do. Well, let me see, because I wanted to talk a little bit more about the advanced courses here, just so you guys can see. Because again, for those of you who just joined this month, in the month of November, if you enroll in the course, you haven't enrolled in FDN yet, you enroll in the course, you're going to get to choose these advanced courses. You're going to get to choose 3, I believe it's 3, for you when you enroll. This is going to give you a huge leg up, where you're going to have a lot of extra learning and new things that you can work on with clients that are in these different fields. So you get to choose this month when you enroll. I just want to make sure that I have the right number. But because I've only done 2 of them so far, yeah, there's a lot. It's a great deal, right? Some of these courses, like the stress and hormones course, is $500 on its own. The functional blood chemistry, I believe, is $300, $400. Like, these are substantial, and you're going to get them for free when you enroll. Yep, 3. So let me just open up real quick. I'll show you, since I already have 2 of the courses. The advanced blood chemistry analysis. And Maria, you can totally how much this is an important thing with your clients. This is the course here. It's 6 different parts, plus you have a final exam and a clinical toolkit, this is the thing. The clinical toolkit is really, really helpful, because it kind of, if you haven't seen, go back into our videos. There's a walkthrough that I did for this course a couple months ago. And I'll put the link in the comments later to link the course video. But we go through the clinical toolkit, and it's a really great reference. So you can pull up somebody's blood chemistry, like you can pull up their tests, you can look and see what are some of the things they might be deficient in and things like that. And then the other course that I've taken or started is the FDN Stress and Hormones course. And as you can see, it is almost as long as the original FDN training. It might actually be a little bit longer. It goes way into depth into hormones. It goes way into depth into adrenals, HPA axis, how to test for cortisol, your rhythm, melatonin, different hormone metabolites, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. Like it kind of goes into everything. And it's a fantastic course. Maria, I already had training in blood chemistry prior to FDN regardless. FBCA is a huge and part of all my programs. Yeah, exactly. So blood chemistry is definitely a huge thing. And I would suggest that if you're looking to choose some of these courses this month, but the stress and hormones course to me is like the most bang for your buck because you can see how much is in there. But it really depends on what you're looking for, right? Like what sort of things you might niche down or focus on clients. Thanks so much for your comment there, Maria. FBCA, functional blood chemistry analysis. Thank you. Well, that has been, I'm sure, incredibly informative, and I hope that you guys got a lot out of this. Sorry, it was a little bit wonky at the beginning trying to get started. I was supposed to have a guest on today, Renee Bergman, to talk about the Enneagram personality test, but she's actually going to be coming back on in 2 weeks. So you guys, you can go to our Facebook page. Going forward, we're going to be posting events. So if you go into our Facebook page, you can look at the tab that says events, and we're going to have listed out all the people that we have coming on the show ahead of time. And what you can do is go on there and you click get a reminder or I'm going. And then what'll happen is if you forget that we're going live, Facebook will send you a message or a notification to show you that we're going live on that day. So that way you don't miss it. I believe even if you can't make it live, it'll still show in your notification, so you can go back and rewatch this video. So you just go into our Facebook events. You'll already see Renee Bergman is up there for November 16th, which is in 2 weeks. So you guys don't want to miss that, because we're going to be talking about the Enneagram personality test. Next week, we have on business mentor Jen Maleka, and we're going to talk a little bit more about how some of these advanced courses can really benefit your business in what we call FDN 2. So yes, we have FDN training with the main course that gets trained, gets you access to labs, gets you those protocols, helps you with your business, kind of gets you started and on the way. And then when you go through some of these advanced courses, you can get trained as what we call FDN 2. So it kind of takes your professionalism to the next level. And that is just the next step into what we call FDN 3. And that's on your way to getting board certified, which we will go into at a later show. So that's what we have coming up next week. Later on this month, we have Jennifer Woodward coming back on, which is our AFDNP director. And all of those events, those Facebook events, will be put up later today so that you can go in and click on the ones that you're interested in, make sure that you get notifications for when we go live again. And, you know, you always can find us here on Facebook. We go live on YouTube as well. If you haven't followed us on Instagram, it is FDN Training. Let me put that in the comments so you guys can see it. So it's Instagram, FDN Training. We put up all of these videos on our IGTV later in the week, so you can also watch them there. Trying to put them up as many places as possible, so that way you guys, not only can you get the information, but you can share it with other people, because I'm not always on here talking about the course. I'm sometimes talking about different tools and tips and things that you guys can do. Like if you didn't catch the show last week, I had Jennifer Woodward on, who is our AFDNP director for our association. And we gave you guys some fantastic tools, links to specific websites that can help get your business kind of rolling with a low expenditure of under $200 a month of different services that you can sign up for that are going to get you everything from email marketing to administration for your clients to organization in your business to help with your marketing, all for less than $200 a month. So you want to make sure you guys go back and rewatch that show, so that way you can get all the links to those different websites. And these are just, you know, certain things that industry standards, like people we use in our client base and use in our practices to help our businesses stay with a low overhead so we can start making money and really helping people. So yeah, that's the show this week. Thank you guys so much for joining. Again, my name is Jess Del Pino. I am an FDNP and your host every week. This is Health Coach Tip Tuesday, every Tuesday, live on Facebook and YouTube at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. In this show, we talk about tips, tools, and resources to really help your business grow. And I look forward to joining you guys again next week with our business mentor, Jen Maleka, to talk about FDN2 and some of these advanced courses. Thank you so much for joining me, Maria. I love all of your comments. Thank you, Aziza. Thank you, Tammy, for joining and commenting. And I look forward to chatting more with all of you who are out there. Maybe you just weren't ready to comment today, but I look forward to chatting with you next week. Okay, have a great rest of your day, everybody, and I'll see you next week.